Hello, 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 and welcome back to another video, and tonight's video is going to be about yet another movie that is recently in theaters, or currently in theaters, depending on when you watch this, and that movie is Mickey 17. Mickey 17, with the lead role being played by Robert Pattinson. And this movie, before we maybe get into what it's about, everybody should know that it is a political movie. It does have some political themes, and there's not really a way to review a movie that has a strong political bias without giving away my own political bias. And so, what I will say is that I am not a fan of the current president of the United States. And so, when I see a movie that is making fun of him, I'm all for it. So, that will, in the case of this political movie, obviously inform my opinion a little bit. So just know that. I took some notes here on paper, but we're gonna be typing them up as we go here. But we're gonna start with an overview of the plot. Let's just type Mickey 17. Okay. And so Mickey 17 is about a guy who basically gets into debt. He basically does this bad business deal at the behest of his friend. Mickey does a bad business deal at the behest of his friend. And because of that, he is put into debt, and the what do you call it? The debt holder. I'm blanking. I don't know. We'll just say the debt collector. Debt collector wants the money back and is threatening their lives. And so this debt collector, he's threatening their lives. He's going to kill them unless they pay back this debt that they borrowed to start this business that was not successful. And so he decides to run away by getting on this ship that was going to colonize a new planet, basically, as far as I understand it. And so he's on this. So the only role that he can get to get on this ship to escape the death of the debt collector is to be an expendable. So an expendable is a expendable person. They can essentially kind of clone you. They can reprint you out, and so they use these expendables to go into dangerous situations, like if there's a new virus or They don't know if the atmosphere of the planet is safe, or if they don't know if the food is safe to eat, they'll make the expendable eat it or go out there. And if the expendable dies, then they've gotten this information, but they can also just reprint. They can reprint him out. So he comes out of this tube that looks like when you're getting like a CAT scan or whatever, but futuristic, and it and they just print him like a printer, and they're like, here you go, and then they like re-upload all his memories and stuff. And so he comes out, and then he's Mickey 2, and then Mickey 3, Mickey 4, Mickey 5, Mickey 6, Mickey 7, Mickey 8, Mickey 9, Mickey 10, Mickey 11, Mickey 12, Mickey 13, Mickey 14, Mickey 15, Mickey 16, and Mickey 17. Now, let's type this. Mickey leaves his home planet on a space expedition by becoming an expendable, which means that he can die and be reprinted out over and over again, and his memories get uploaded back to him. And so when he's Mickey 17, he goes out and he's with these like native creatures of this new planet, and he thinks that they're going to eat him and kill him, because that's what everybody on the spaceship also thinks that these native aliens are evil and mean. But they're actually not. They're actually super nice, and they actually save him, and they bring him back. And they bring him back to the ship. But the problem is that everyone on the ship thought that Mickey 17 had already died. So what did they do? They reprinted him. So when he gets back to the ship, there is already a Mickey 18. And there, in this world, you're not allowed to have duplicates. And the reason was, there was some guy that was like a murderer or something, and he made duplicates of himself so that he could continue murdering people. And then after his long case of serial killing, then they outlawed having duplicates because of that reason. And so, so now there's 2 of him, and the rest of the movie is very much about how do they handle /hide /work together to overcome this very interesting government person, dictator / president, whatever you want to call him. It is Mark Ruffalo's character, and this is where the movie definitely has some political choices, political bias, and Mark Ruffalo's character is absolutely, without a doubt, an imitation of Donald Trump. And there are a lot of negative reviews about Mark Ruffalo's character in this film. And I think some of the reason, actually, I think some of the reason that people struggle with this character is because they say he doesn't fit into the film. It doesn't fit in. He's too out there. He's too weird. He's too crazy. And what I think is funny, I had to think about this because Mark Ruffalo's this film is crazy. He is out there. He does feel like he doesn't belong in the movie. I actually agree with the reviewers that are saying that. The thing that I sort of don't agree with is that it didn't work for the film. And I think this is because his character is really supposed to be Donald Trump. I think it's really hard to deny that, given the way he performs the character. But at least from my personal viewpoint, I don't think that Donald Trump often feels like he fits in reality. It feels like he's often living in a world that is different than the one that I live in. and so when I saw Mark Ruffalo's character and the fact that he acts so much like he doesn't belong in this movie, I think matches the way Donald Trump is perfectly, because he's just so out there and says the craziest stuff and is so unbelievably stupid for lack of a better word, stupid. And he has all of the confidence of somebody who really believes that they're right. He has that very strong narcissistic approach to his way of life, and he really wants to be the king, dictator, whatever, of this new planet that they're going to. And so, while I don't want to necessarily bring in politics to this, but you sort of have to with this movie. I actually think that Mark Ruffalo's character fits into the movie just as well as Donald Trump fits into the United States, which is not at all. And so I actually thought it was a pretty good depiction of that level of crazy dictator, unrestrained. Yeah. Okay, we're done with that part. So, the other thing, let's make some notes on this. I got distracted because that was hard to talk about. So we're gonna talk about Mark Ruffalo's character is obviously Donald Trump, and he doesn't fit in with the characters or the world of the movie, but he works in the film because he is supposed to be so radically different than the average person. He's meant to be the wild card, unpredictable, narcissistic, dictator style person. He also reminded me of, in Hunger Games when they go to the Capitol, and like the people are wearing all the really fancy dress and stuff like that. He reminded me of that. So they are going to colonizing this new world with these alien creatures. creatures that they call creepers, which I think they could have had a more interesting name, but I think I haven't read the book, but I think the name creepers came from the book, so they probably couldn't change it. But so they Mickey at least finds out that these creatures are very kind and polite and chill. And of course, our crazy dictator decides, based on zero evidence, that these creatures are there to kill them and that they must be exterminated. And so they capture some babies and start torturing them, because that's what crazy dictators do. And it's always, I think it's an interesting, statement just to be calling an indigenous species on a planet that you just landed on aliens. Because I am sure, to them, we are the aliens. So one thing that I thought was kind of interesting was that when the aliens, save Mickey, they save his life by bringing him back to the ship. It's the first time that I feel like Mickey's life has been valued by anyone in the film. Everybody is very okay with Mickey dying, because they all know that he can just be reprinted out and brought back to life. But this quote-unquote alien species, these creepers, they don't know that about him. So they assume that he's a normal person that can only live once. And they bring him back. And I think that that's a really important moment for Mickey, when he starts to maybe value his life a little bit, or realize that his life has some value. And I think that this is actually sort of brought back when the evil dictator dude had killed one of the baby creepers. It was very sad. And when Mickey is able to ask the creeper mom what she wants in order to make things right between the humans and the creepers, she says a life for a life. And I think that's another thing sort of implying that Mickey 17 is a life, is a person, would fulfill that request from the creeper. And obviously we don't want the person sacrificed to be Mickey, and in the end it isn't, at least not Mickey 17. Luckily we are able to sacrifice this dictator, because oh my gosh, he needed to go. But I think just knowing that the creepers valued him as a life was more than any of the humans on the ship had ever given him, or had ever treated him as such. They just thought that he could, keep dying and being printed out. But like I said, the creepers didn't know that. And I don't even think the creepers were even acknowledged, or thought it was odd that there were two of him. Probably because they don't know that two humans can't exist. So I don't know. But I think all of his interactions with the creepers really showed him that his life had some value or meaning, and he was finally treated as a real person, basically. And so I liked that part. And then Mickey 18 sacrificing himself in order to save Mickey Mickey-17 and, well, pretty much the whole human race. Well, the human race that was on the ship that had gone to colonize this planet, which, is trying to save all of them, and more importantly, just kill this dictator dude. And he succeeds, and I thought it was an interesting touch to add at the end that Mickey finds out that the creepers actually don't have any, like, power to have beaten the humans, that they just sort of rose up and lied and fought back, and essentially by playing into the fears of the ignorant humans, the fact that humans don't bother to actually figure out what's true or not. They just lead with fear. And so when they thought that the noise from the aliens was going to blow their minds up, they just kind of went with that, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen, so we have to do something. And then the aliens are able to win. The creepers, I don't even like calling them the aliens, the indigenous, lovely, beautiful, kind species that lived on this planet prior to the arrival of Mickey and the rest of them. But this has been a lot of talking about the plot in this video. I apologize, I do normally review a little bit more, but this movie was very interesting and hard to review in a sense. There were some kind of side plot lines that never really developed very much, and although they didn't really impact my enjoyment of the film, it could be something that people don't love, you know. And I thought Robert Pattinson was incredible. I thought the visual effects and everything of having two people on screen, obviously it's been done many a time before, but I thought it was really well done in this film. It felt very real. So credit obviously to Robert Pattinson for acting like he was actually interacting with himself, and credit to the visual effects team for actually making it look like he was talking to himself and interacting with himself. And as much as this is a controversial take, but I really enjoyed Mark Ruffalo's performance. I hated him throughout the whole film. He was awful. He was just a miserable character that was just made you cringe with every word out of his mouth, with every smile, with everything. He was just so awful, and it made you dislike him so much, which was the whole point. That was his job, was to play a character that you hated. And I loved just how much he was able to make you roll your eyes and cringe at every moment that he was on screen. I think he just nailed it, and it's pretty much how I feel every time Trump comes on any TV screen too. So the fact that I got the exact same feeling from Mark Ruffalo's performance, to me, tells me that he did something right. So alright, that is going to be it for Mickey-17. This was, I feel like this was a weird one, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm trying different things with the recording and the voice and the whispering and the typing and everything else in each video, so I really appreciate you guys kind of being along for the ride here, and always feel free to let me know in the comments what you liked and what you didn't like, so that I know how to proceed, or what changes or what things I should try in the next one. So thank you so